Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
In life, when you take a shortcut, sometimes it works out, more times it doesn't when you apply it to getting things done, especially when it comes to redesigning your home, your workspace, all of that. A couple of phrases that go along with that to back that up. Measure twice, cut once, do it right the first time. We're going to talk about those shortcuts when it relates to interior design work. And that's what she does. We're going to get examples of things you don't want to do when you're working on new designs within your living space. And she is somebody that helps people all the time with KN Creations and Design. And she is Kristiann Colasacco. Am I saying your last name correctly?
Yeah, surprisingly, most people don't.
And I'm not gonna, go on a crutch here, but it's like I looked and I'm like, was it spelled correctly? But all right, I'm glad I got it right. Welcome. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good, and I'm a firm believer in do it right the first time. I can just, if I start scanning my brain for those times that I took the shortcut, you wind up doing it again, and then it's frustration and cost and all of that, especially when it comes to getting somebody to help you with your design. Like a lot of us think, I can do it myself. It's probably not going to come out the way you wanted it to because you're looking at it one way. You as a professional are looking at it another way. Shortcuts, some examples. What do you got?
Well, the number one mistake that a lot of clients, friends, and family make are they're going to hire the cheapest guy in the room, the least expensive bidder, because obviously that's enticing to your wallet and you want to save money, right? You have a budget that you're working within. Now, let's say you get 3 bids on a project and you have your really low point, you have your mid to high, and then you have like your super expensive guy, right? Or girl.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've had clients who have contracted the workers and the tradesmen where they're going the lower end of the pricing rail. And then later on, they're getting hit with all these change orders. They're like, why am I getting a $20,000 change order bill to do X, Y, and Z for like small work, like paint and things like that? And I say, well, A, it's not my team you're using Joe Schmo. B, this is what happens when you're using somebody who gives you that really low number up front. They're going to give you a change order for literally every time they blow their nose. Like,
Yep.
that's just what it comes down to. And then I, as the designer, I'm kind of stuck in the middle as the mediator. And I'm going back to the contractor like, hey, why does it cost this much to do this? Why weren't you upfront about that in the beginning? Now, one of the key things that like a lot of designers, myself included, we all have our own way of doing things, right? I create a full design deck before the job starts. So that means you have all your renders, all your drawings, you know exactly what's going where. It's like a Bible for construction. It's like, here you go, get it done. They should be bidding off of that scope of work. So they know exactly what they need to do. And I have had people literally just be like, oh, cool, whatever, not looking at it. And then they get a later bill as the project goes on. Like, I didn't know I was supposed to do that. I didn't know we were going to put a floating fireplace in this location, or we were going to put an accent wall over here or wallpaper. And it's like, hello, you had it right in front of you and you just completely ignored it. So that's your own problem, not mine, not my clients. So
I love the way you look at that. You're managing the expectations. So you're starting with the expectations and now you share them with everybody else. When I say you, I mean your client shares it with everybody else. This is what I'm expecting. This is what we design.
Yeah. And you just have to keep like reiterating it. It's like you're literally repeating yourself all the time to clients and the contractors and the tradesmen, involved in the job. And also materials. People forget, if you buy cheap cabinetry, you're getting cheap cabinetry. I'm sorry. You go to IKEA, you're getting IKEA. You go to Wayfair, you're getting Wayfair. You can't expect to be getting these good, solid quality materials that don't cost you half your soul when you're trying to put them together with an Allen wrench.
Yeah.
I know me personally, I have been very colorful in my dialogue with myself and whatever room I'm in, putting the Allen wrench furniture together. So
Yeah. Or, those are usually the projects where it's like, where the hell is it? It's missing. How could it not be here? What's going on? Usually the better quality things you buy, they'll include extras. Here's 3 extra screws. Here's, 3, whatever it might be. It really does make a difference. And, to your point, if you're going to cheap out, don't expect, like, if it's a drawer, to fit perfectly right. It's probably not going to, just the way it is.
yeah, 100%. For a perfect example, the chair I'm sitting on, I ordered from Amazon. I needed something quick because my other chair broke when I moved.
Mhm.
And I can put anything together. I can build stuff. Like, I should actually be a contractor because I can do things. But I cannot assemble cheap furniture to save my life. So it took me 4 hours to put this stupid chair together that I'm sitting on, and it's still wobbly. And I couldn't find the directions because they hid them in the seat cushion, like zippered inside.
Oh,
Losing my mind looking for it. I'm like, this is stupid. I can do things like I do this for a living, and I
sure.
can't assemble this chair because the one main component is missing.
Oh, I got it. Or when you find the instructions, then it doesn't have any words because they want to repurpose it for every language. And usually those are the ones of the kiss of death, unless it's something simple, but it's more detailed. It's like, this is not matching up. I totally get it. The last house I was in, and I sold it last year. I'm in between houses, just not a good time to buy. I put an offer on one right away, and I killed the deal. Thought, let me wait. I bought that house because they redid a lot of stuff. And after I changed the paint colors, which were fresh but horrible, I'm talking like hot pink and just this like teal. It was horrible.
You put those colors in?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say that's
No, no,
bold.
no, no, no.
I know you like
But
your color and all, but
no, that was fresh. They just did that, thinking that, whoa, this looks great. So change that out. Time went on, and it was okay until I realized that the kitchen cabinets, the bathrooms were all from Home Depot. So in terms of quality, it was okay. But when you have those challenges, like the cabinet doors, the ones I forget what they're called, but when you close them and they close slowly and all of that, they never
Mhm.
worked. All of them never worked just right because you get what you pay for. So if your budget can support it, pay more and get better quality. It's going to last.
Yeah, it's true. And I will say this too, though, it kind of goes both ways because there are some really high-end vendors and design like furnishing lines out there that you're paying for the name, not so much the quality.
Mm,
I'll go ahead and say it, like Restoration Hardware, you're paying for the name. The
yeah.
quality's not quite there. They're very overpriced for the quality that you're actually getting, but
Yep.
because this whole world is conditioned to think that they're like
The go-to.
the
Right.
affordable Gucci of home furnishings for some reason,
Yeah. Yep.
you're going to run into a lot of problems.
How about some other example of shortcuts that could go wrong if you take them?
So, shower glass, for example, you can get, if you Google like shower glass on the internet, you're going to get 1,000,001 different vendors and fabricators. And the quality of glass is so important because you have glass that looks literally like a green color, and you won't see it until you put it in your space. And guess what? That's the cheapest glass you're going to find. It's got like a weird film on it. So it stains pretty easily with water, and water shouldn't really be staining glass either. You could pay more and have a special treated glass where it's perfectly clear, it's thicker, it's not going to crack, it's not going to have like a little fleck or weird imperfections in there. Perfect example, I ordered for a client. They were really, really insistent on going cheap on a shower door. It's like for a tub. I said, fine. So they found one on Wayfair. They wanted to get this thing. It was like $300. I said, all right. So I ordered it
for a
them.
glass shower door.
Yes, it was. Yes, buyer beware. I already had the red flags going off, and I warned him. I'm like, listen, I mean, I'm not making this myself, but I'm letting you know, I'll order it for you. You're not going to be happy with it. Sure enough, like a few months in, they texted me, they called me, they were so upset. There's something wrong with the glass. It's staining. It's not doing what it's supposed. I'm like, well, duh. What do you think? Like, it's Wayfair. They don't specialize in this stuff.
And I'm glad you brought up that point, because I was thinking that if it's a cheaper glass, it's probably not going to repel water as well. It's going to have the staining, and just it's going to look nasty every single time. Wayfair, I heard, is in chapter 11 or chapter 7 right now.
I did not hear that.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. And I was like kind of surprised. Or no, I'm gonna have to check on that.
I will make a phone call after this because I have some things to check on.
how is their quality? Tell me. What do you think?
Some of it's good. I will say, like, listen, when I moved into this apartment, I that fireplace is from Wayfair behind me, and it works great.
Okay.
So there's things you can totally get, like these bar stools behind me, that's from Wayfair. There's some stuff that is very appropriate budget wise that you can get away with, but like there's certain things that they're really trying to push that you should avoid at all costs, like cabinetry, glass, like those bigger pieces, the bigger token pieces that you just have no business buying at Wayfair. Like even they sell bathtubs, and I don't know why. Like they're selling Duravit. Duravit's a high-end brand for plumbing, and they're selling Duravit bathtubs. So what I'm trying to figure out is it a dupe or is it real? I'll let you know, because I just ordered one to test it out.
Wow. So let me share. The probability of bankruptcy of Wayfair is 28.6%. And that is because they currently have about $1.2 billion in cash on hand, while they have more than 2.7 billion in liabilities. So not in bankruptcy yet, apparently, but could get close to it.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's scary. A lot of these companies are dealing with that.
Yeah.
That just happened to me. I don't know if I should, maybe I won't say the name just to protect them. A very well-known high-end furniture brand. I ordered for a full house, all custom pieces. Ordered it, the final piece in August. 2 weeks later, they went under. They fired everyone. They had no contact, like everyone that got fired, all the sales reps and whatnot, they couldn't even reach people like myself, the consumer and the clients, to let them know what happened. So now I'm chasing all these orders. I'm like, where is this? Where is it? Luckily, I'm a very friendly person. I have all of my reps like personal cell phone numbers. So I texted her. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Are you alive?
Yeah.
And she's like, well, this is what happened. It went under. We have no knowledge of anything. Like, we can't get you anything. So all your custom stuff is sitting in a warehouse somewhere. And we don't know if you'll get it or not, because they won't release it, because now it's owned by the bank. And we're like,
wow.
what?
It's out of your control,
It is.
and it was a logical purchase, because you said it was a high-end company that had a reputation, but you never know what's going on a lot of times behind the scenes.
Yeah. So I ended up replicating a lot of that furniture with my own furniture custom vendors to get the house done. And that's a good point too, as far as like the shortcuts and the short roads that could be more expensive. You have to also be very careful when you're doing custom, because if you're not working with somebody reputable, a custom furniture manufacturer, they don't offer warranties, like manufacturer warranties. They're If they die tomorrow, you can't reach them. You know what I mean? So you have to be very, very careful with who you're dealing with for custom furniture, custom upholstery. Anything can happen. You just don't know, but you have to be made aware of all of the possible circumstances.
Now, when we say shortcuts, a lot of what we're talking about involves cheaping out, taking the shortcut, the cheaper way out. Are there other shortcuts that come to mind that don't have so much to do with money, but just maybe time or not following through, things like that? Anything pop in your head that way?
Yeah. So I'm trying to think. Something happened recently, and it was this to a T, where what was it? I'm trying to think. I'm drawing a blank.
Or just not doing the right, let's say you're doing a kitchen or pick any room, but you're not attacking it the right way. Um, in terms of even planning a lot of times.
Yes. So that is exactly what happened. Rushing to get it done faster, you overlook a lot of details.
Yeah.
Or like if a lot of things are coming at you at once, your phone is going off, your email's going off, you're trying to write up an invoice or you're trying to pull together an order. You overlook something really important and then it kind of bites you in the ass later on and you're like, oh no, like how do I fix this? How do I possibly fix this? And then you're pulled out of the present moment. You can't remedy it. Everyone's mad at you. So with the shortcuts also comes like presence, right? You have to be completely present in the moment to be fully activated and focused. And that goes with anything in life. Excuse me.
You're bringing back
What
memories that aren't good. Like I
it's triggering, right? It's very
oh my
triggering.
gosh. I built a house, had a house built. Um, it was a Victorian. I was in a townhouse. I sold the townhouse very quickly and I bought land, had the house put on it. They poured the foundation on Halloween. I moved in first week of January. That's how fast they put the house up because I said, I need to be in. I got a little kid. I got to get in there. And it went well. The builder was attentive. It was all good. However, I should have waited because I would have thought of things that I could have done, like even running wires in the walls and like stuff like that, like little things. It was a solid basic house, but I could have really like maxed it out and made it very custom if I didn't take the shortcuts and crank the whole thing
Just
out
to get in there.
just to get in there. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
once you close up those walls, it's not easy to put certain things in there afterwards.
No.
Because then it creates more work, it's more money. If you take the time to really sit and think how you're going to utilize the space and long term, not so long term, but long term enough, we're like, hey, I may want to do this at some point.
Yeah.
I may want a steam shower. Steam showers are like the number one thing that I have to educate my clients on because they're
Educate me on that. That sounds great.
so everybody loves the idea of a steam shower, and you can create your own without an actual system in place. They're very expensive. You just get glass to the ceiling. You have to really make sure that your shower is enclosed. Um, and and that's pretty much it for that. But if you're in construction and you think you may want a steam shower, you need this whole system that goes inside of the wall first behind the tile. So that means if it's not in place before you start tiling, it's not going in place unless you're demoing that wall again. Bottom line.
Yeah.
And it needs to be inspected properly to make sure you're not going to have any issues. Because if that leaks in the wall, you're in trouble.
Wow.
So if you hire somebody to do a quick little, mud job and install job for something to that nature, you're going to have a lot of problems. I had a client who we did the steam shower. Whoever the plumber was on the job, I don't know who this person was. They didn't do it the right way. They rushed it. The client used it for the first time. It dripped piping hot water on their foot the first time they used the shower.
Oh.
And they were very upset, as they should be. But can you imagine that's your first experience? Like, I'm going to have this great shower and burn my foot off.
And there's not a lot you can do with it. All you had to do was say tile. And right away I was like, up. That's it. I mean, yeah, you can go through that wall, but the expense, the collateral damage, all of that going on there. Let's go back to the financial shortcuts. Other things that you can think of that we shouldn't do, or that you've been involved with, where people have taken the cheap way out and it didn't turn out?
Ordering tile that, so I ran into this problem recently, actually. I'm still kind of in the thick of it, to be honest. So we ordered marble tile that was poor quality. And because of that, we spent a ton of money on tile, probably like $4,000 or $5,000 on this one tile alone. The quality just wasn't there. The color wasn't there. What we thought we were getting, we didn't get, because you know what? We didn't actually get to take the time to approve the lot photos. We were in a rush. We needed to get this done. We needed to get it selected. The tile arrives. The guys start to install it. In fact, they like damn near installed it. And it doesn't look anything like what it was supposed to. And so we had to rip it all down. This happened twice on the same project. Ripped everything down twice because both lots we didn't get final approval on. We rushed it. We didn't spend the money we should have spent on the proper lot of that tile. And now we're in a bind. And we're still working through that. So that's a current situation I'm in right now.
Well, learning experience there for all of us. So the lots vary that much?
Yeah.
Wow.
If you don't get lot photos ahead of time and approve that batch, I promise you it will be the bane to your existence when it comes to renovating, because you don't know what you're getting. You really don't. And then you can't justify, who do you point the finger to? Because nobody wants to take responsibility for that.
So how can the photos be so accurate? Because there's variations there. One screen looks different than another screen. How do you ensure that you're really looking at what is the truth?
You need video proof photos. And if you can take an hour drive, whatever it is, to the actual factory and approve it physically, or if one of you can in your group, whether it's your designer, your contractor, somebody involved in the project can do that, do it. It is worth it, because you do not want 200 plus square feet of tile to show up and you can't use any of it. And you certainly don't want to sit there and cherry pick through all the boxes, which I've had to do also, because no one has time for that. Nobody wants to sit there and do that. And then you have to refill the boxes, put them on a pallet, wrap the pallet, have it prepped and ready for the shipper to come and pick it up. They won't pick it up. They won't do you any favors at all. You are like at the mercy of getting this tile back to them, hoping that they refund you, getting a new tile. It's a complete nightmare.
I had no idea. The stuff you learn. Wow. Well, you know what? This is why you should have a designer, because you get the contractor coming, you're doing it. When I say do it yourself, you're not doing it, but you're managing the project. Let's get Jimmy the plumber in. He's done Italian tile. He has a great reputation. He comes in. He's not talking about going. He's got another job. He's not going to tell you to worry about the lot of tile and all of that. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
And it's also, you need somebody to be the points person to check on everyone, right? It's like, I really do feel like I'm the mother of my jobs. Like, I have to really check on every single person. And even if I don't know them personally, I'm like, hey buddy, I don't know your name, but did you do this? What does this look like? Is it matching what I put in this binder for you, 9 times out of 10, they didn't even look at it. And they just went ahead and like used their own ideas and went forward with what they thought looked good. And it's wrong.
To your point, at the house I just sold, I renovated the backyard, totally redid it, turned it into like a vacation spot. Had, palm trees, like it was beautiful. I love electronics and electrical. My dad was one. I pulled wires and did a lot of that. Not a big deal, but I managed the project along with having 2 other jobs at the time, waking up very early. I gave myself an ulcer. I'm not even making that up. I gave myself an ulcer. And it was from that and everything else. But, there was a lot involved. So I'm, here, the pool guy, the patio. Then we got the pergola's got to go up. When are you guys going to bring in the hot tub? It's in storage right now. That, like, all of that. And it was worth it, but it wasn't worth it. I would have gladly said, here, can you take care of this? Great. Just keep me updated. That's it. The value is there for somebody like you. How do we find you, Kristiann?
You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on TikTok. You can find me on my website, KN Creations and Design, ltd.com.
Yeah, it's
pretty much just type in K-ANN Creations, spelled the K, and it comes right up. All the platforms come up.
Gotcha. Yeah. Kristiann, great talking with you today. All this stuff I didn't even realize, a lot of it, even with the tile, and even the steam bathroom, steam shower. Sounds like a great idea if you do it right and don't take a shortcut.
Exactly. It was great talking with you too.
You too.
And I will help you with many more little hacks and secrets of the trade.
Looking forward to it. Thanks again.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.